offense here, second time around. Plenty of time for Nova. Touch pass, and can't throw it any better than that. And that's how you
covered 3 and covered 1.
Nova back to the air, catch and release, and he is 2 for
well.
Gary Nova's second drive off to a very good start. 2 for 2 for 45 yards. And there's Wegher around the right side inside the 25-yard line. After one of the greatest seasons in NAIA history in 2014, his first carry goes for 9.
Brandon Wegher, former Iowa Hawkeye. There's a couple of players in the lineup today that have transferred from one university to the next. Brandon Wegher back in the 2010 Orange Bowl. Went for over 100 yards. Played as a true freshman at the tailback position for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Had 8 rushing touchdowns, which was a freshman record for Iowa. And then sort of just went off the map. I mean, he's one of these guys in the game today that's got immense physical ability, but their story took them off the tracks at a certain point.
Wegher with it again around the right side. Finding success for the second time in a row. Run out of bounds by Justin Oxendine. And Wegher picks up 10 yards. And Anthony, you mentioned he was over 100 yards in his final game there against Georgia Tech, the Orange Bowl. 3 100-yard games he had in 2009 for the Iowa Hawkeyes, showing you a little bit of the talent of the year. And he starts 35 years later. Still holds that same distinction. And I still have that card somewhere in the house. We should probably locate that.
For Wegher, and he's talked about maturing and growing up over the years and wanting to take advantage of this last shot to try and pursue his dream.
Kevin Rogers out of Henderson State with the Patriots and now with the Chargers. 3rd down and 10, 2:12 left. And Rogers looking deep. Late penalty marker, first series early in the 3rd quarter. Looked pretty sharp. Best quarterback performance so far. Now on for his second series. And that's Brandon Wegher.
25 pounds with that type of speed.
Brandon Wegher going nowhere. Doesn't make it back to the line.
And here, as the mic, you read the play, diagnose it, and then once the running back declares, you pull the trigger right there into the backfield. Excellent.
Football team as a freshman, and 4 years later, guys, he's here playing in this bowl game today. Pretty impressive for Nate Boyer.
Alfie.
See what Ryan Williams can get going here in the 4th quarter, if it can be anywhere close as successful as his 3rd quarter. Clock ticking, 6:30 and counting now. His team up by 12 points, and that's Brandon Wegher out of Morningside College. One of the best seasons in NAIA history this past year, when he averaged a little over 200 rushing yards per game. Also scored 260 points, best in the nation.
Start of his career at the University of Iowa. Looked like it was going to be extremely promising with the yardage and the touchdowns that Brandon Wegher put up as a true freshman. Suddenly left the program for personal reasons, and he's had his issues off the field since then.
Wegher, 2009 in Iowa. You referenced the freshman season. 641 yards, 8 touchdowns. 16 carries for a $113 in the Orange Bowl win over Georgia Tech.
Senior season, is he a guy that can transition to being an outside linebacker? A 3-4 type would be the question.
Williams pushing it downfield through it.
He's not just one of these big pluggers who's going to stop the run. He's got pass rush ability.
3rd down and 18 now. Brandon Wegher finds an opening off the right side, and that is a first down via the ground game. The rare first down on 3rd down and 18 on the ground as he picks up 20. Brought down by Sendish.
NAIA national record will be right in this hole right there as they wall the defenders off. Just watch the down block, just a zone scheme to it, cutback from Brandon Wegher, and the cutback is really what sets it up. He ran that zone blocking scheme for the Iowa Hawkeyes, so as that entire offensive line moves in unison in one direction, led by Matt Rotheram, that's really what opened up the running lane.
Here comes Wegher one more time on the delayed draw. Tough running as he crosses the 50-yard line. Putting the head down, getting a couple of extra yards as he picks up 8.
He's 5'11", 210 pounds. He's got a thick, stocky sort of frame to him, but we do see he's able to hit top gear very quickly. A collision there. Some impact at the second level. Well, it would appear that Brandon Wegher won the battle. You certainly respect that the defender was able to get him down on the ground.
Quinn Backus on the wrong end of that collision. Bring up second down 1. Anthony, I want to back up to something you said a little while ago as we really, all these players are fighting to improve their draft stock. You mentioned that sometimes it's a better idea if you're not going to be an early pick or a mid pick, instead of being a late round pick, to have options as an undrafted for the offense in the third quarter. They turned a 14-3 deficit late in the second quarter into this 26-14 lead.
Pretty free agent, where you still get a similar signing bonus to the guys who are the late round, 6th, 7th round sorts of picks. And so it is, in a lot of ways, an advantageous position to be one of those.
Here, Brandon Wegher continues to be the tailback. Little hesitation and a burst and then a spin to finish that one off. And Brandon Wegher finishing his team.
Most definitely showing that burst of reference. We've seen the spin move a couple of times here from Brandon Wegher. As we talked about, a guy who's been on the big stage. He's played big
state, then finished it off with one against Georgia Tech his freshman season. Toss sweep to the left side. And showing you the moves there that earned him 2,600 rushing yards this past season.